How long does it take before you find yourself angry? And when you respond to a situation from a place of anger, what does that response look like? Is it explosive? Is it volcanic? Is it measured? This is a very important question for the first Peter 2 and 9 generation of agents for justice with respect to the code of conduct for one who is called into this type of ministry, the ministry of administering justice. And Proverbs 16:32 reads, one who is slow to anger is better than is better than the mighty, and one whose temper is controlled than one who captures the city. A lot of times, and I talk quite a bit about this in my book, Trauma Transformation, how our need to protect ourselves is often at the root of anger and how we show up in anger. And this was a place of affliction for me because of past trauma, that I had to appear strong through rage, through anger, so that I would not be victimized. That this was my thinking, this was my stronghold. In order for me to not be victimized, I have to show up in rage to protect myself. But what was happening in my ignorance of this understanding of Proverbs 16:32, I knew that the scripture says to be angry, but to sin not. So I was like, okay, so it's not wrong to get angry. No, it's not wrong to get angry. Anger is a very necessary emotion for this journey of life. But what the scripture is revealing here is a principle that goes beyond your humanity of having the emotion, and helping you to understand that your strength is not in how angry you get or how violently you pop off. Your strength is actually found in the way you respond to the emotion. We live in a culture that celebrates the clapback. We live in a culture where it's becoming more and more commonplace for somebody to get loud in public and to cut somebody out or to give someone a piece of their mind. We live in a culture where comment sections are full of angry people just vomiting all over everyone. But the rule of law here for the person of wisdom, for the person of justice, for the first Peter 2 and 9 individual, the agent of righteousness and justice, is that your righteousness is evidenced by how you handle your emotions. How you regulate your emotions is evidence of your life in the spirit. When you feel that you cussing somebody out is your portion, and you don't feel better until you've given someone a piece of your mind, this is evidence of spiritual immaturity. This is evidence of what the Bible calls foolishness, because you have not learned what Galatians calls the fruit of the spirit, which is self control. Life is going to piss you off. People are going to piss you off. Situations are going to bring you into frustration, anger, and even rage. But the measure of the spirit and its operation in your life, and you're yielding to the spirit, you're yielding to the path of righteousness, you're yielding to the voice of truth and wisdom, the spirit of the most high. The evidence that we saw in the life of Yahushua HaMashiach when he walked the earth according to the testimony of the New Testament was a life of self regulation, self control. This does not mean that he did not get angry. We know he got angry. One of my favorite scenes of the Messiah was him flipping tables at the temple because he was so zealous for the house of the Most High. For this place of worship that had been turned into a place of merchandising, that the heart of the people was so far away from Yah's intent for why we come together, why we congregate in the place of worship. It had become a place for only people to make money and to capitalize off of the people. He was enraged by what he saw, and he got the flipping tables and cutting up. That is one of my favorite scenes of the Messiah, according to the biblical witness, right? However, when you see the way he was personally attacked by the Pharisees, how they constantly challenged his authority, how they always questioned by what authority did he do any of the stuff that he was doing, there was not the pop off. He was very wise in his response. He did not walk around in rage and temper tantrum, even though he was constantly being provoked. Now, he walking around here, he like, y'all, it was by me that all of you were created. You are my handiwork, and you coming for me and my authority. He could have operated in an instant indignation and did not, demonstrating this evidence of spiritual maturity, showing us how to walk spiritually mature, because people are going to piss you off. People are going to attack you. People are going to come for you. People are going to scandalize you. People are going to undermine you. People are going to come for you. Yet, the evidence that you belong to the Most High, the evidence that the Spirit is operating in your life, the evidence that you belong to Him is in your emotional regulation, is in how you respond to these things. Because, yeah, you could go and tear some stuff up. You could go and cut some people out. You can go and character assassinate real quick and try to destroy somebody in your anger. But by doing that, you're actually giving evidence that the Spirit is not operating in your life, that you are operating out of a place of pride, and you are operating out of a place of lack of self-control. The Spirit is not dwelling with you. You rather get your lick back than allow the Most High to be glorified through your testing and through your trial. That's what that shows when you show out. And all praise be to the Most High. But for the grace of Yah, I would still be in my affliction as a person who instantly responded angrily, enraged. I mean, cutting up, y'all. And those of you who know and who have worked with me closely in the background, who I minister to, you know the examples that I've given you about how I've shown out on my husband. And that's why I tell other people, I tell wives, I tell y'all husbands, when your husband come complaining to me about you and your attitude and your temper tantrums, I tell them, I say, don't look at this version of me as who I've always been. My husband is a testimony of endurance and him sticking it out long enough for me to heal beyond that place of emotional reactivity. I had to heal through some stuff. I took that brother through, y'all. But in growing up and learning truth and practicing self control and being led by the Spirit rather than being led by my need to be right or led by my pride, I'm not gonna let you hit me unless I hit you back. I'm gonna tear you down before I make me look bad. That's the difference between spiritual maturity and spiritual immaturity that qualifies you to do this work of justice on behalf of the King in his kingdom. Be blessed, and I look forward to seeing you for day 33.